The following is a presentation of TFNN. Live at TFNN, The Money Masters.
Let's go to Carlos in California. Hey, Carlos, what's going on?
I want to thank you guys for all that you do for TFNN. I've been a Tiger for over 10 years. Actually, I started listening to you before I even speak a word of English.
Oh, really?
And the thing that captivated me was when you make like, rawr. I was like, wow, what is that?
That is so cool. And where are you from?
Take it serious. I'm from the south, actually the northwest part of Mexico.
I love
right
it.
next to Guayabitos.
Okay.
It's close to Puerto Vallarta.
Okay, cool.
Yes, and I listen from there, and then when I arrived here, I married my wife, and then I keep listening to your radio station.
That's a beautiful thing, man.
It's such a great thing.
Now, your Money Masters, Tom O'Brien and Steve Rhodes.
Welcome, folks. Steve Rhodes, Tom O'Brien. We do appreciate you growling and prowling with us out here. We get the Dow right now down 81. NASDAQ's up 5. S&Ps are off 6. You got gold down 12. We got copper off a penny. Bonds are up 2 ticks. King dollar up 35 ticks. It's on the move again. We'll see. It looks like it's building some strength, but bottom line, it wants to go up. Euro is down 77, and yen is up 50. And, of course, Apple is...
They're polishing the apple. They're polishing the apple.
It went to the moon. It went to the moon. And, you know, it's going to be amazing. I mean, my take is that by the end of the day, Apple's going to be lucky if it's up 10. You know, it's... You know, and that's just normal, folks. That's you know, Apple, you know, no doubt is a beautiful thing.
First 5 minutes, $1.8 billion worth of, you know, money changing hands.
It's amazing. It really is.
First 5 minutes of trading. That's pretty cool.
Apple could be a BVSN from yesterday. BVSN, you know, is up 10, ended up flat. And, you know, when you're talking this kind of money, you're talking heavy-duty deal. And the divergence, you know, what's so cool about this? The divergence was there last night when they came out. Because what you had, folks, is this, is that Apple came out, goes to the moon, right? You know, fundamentally, technically, goes to the moon, okay? And, you know, then what you had is that the S&Ps did not move. That was the huge heads up. Okay,
they couldn't take out the highs from Monday.
13-18.
That's right.
Which was
new moon highs. New moon Monday highs. That's what it was. It was new moon Monday highs. Couldn't take it out.
Absolutely amazing. There's no doubt about it.
Now, what was cool was that it actually completed the butterfly pattern in the futures, in the NASDAQ futures. So that was nice. So it punched up.
Oh, it did, huh?
Yeah.
Oh,
so punched
cool.
up and
you know, I was looking at that this
the
morning, man. I know, because that's cool.
So the NASDAQ goes ahead. So with that news, NASDAQ goes ahead, punches up, you know, completes that pattern at about 5:10, whatever, you know, whenever the numbers were released. And then at the same time, like you were saying, the S&P, you know, couldn't punch up over that new moon high, if you will.
No,
so
I know.
So it'll be interesting to see if that, you know, if that is it now.
You know, when I look back, you know, the last 20 to 30 years. And I see something like that's unfolding like today, right? I remember flat out scratching my head in front of screens like, whoa, hold on. Why isn't the S&P up? I don't get this, okay? You know what I mean? That Apple goes to the moon. And I remember specifically standing in my living room one day, right? This is like in, I think, 93, right?
Yes.
And, you know, something happened. I said, hold it. What's going on? That doesn't make any sense, man. And, of course, you know, bottom line, folks, the markets do make sense in a huge way, but it's not in the context of how news is coming at you.
No, that's it. Yeah. You know, you kind of do, you know, the news kind of more so from a, I guess, an entertainment standpoint, just to hear other people, but not to buy into what other people. You know, the thing is not to buy into what other folks are saying.
That's right. Understanding the correlation, that you can take the math behind it, you take the pattern behind it, then you can take the news and say, okay, man, here we go. You know?
Because what will end up happening is you'll become so good with the charts that you're going to say, interview me. I can tell you what's going on. You know, more so than a lot of the other folks that are out there.
It's pretty sick.
And in essence, that's really what we have. That's a transition that's going on. When you take a look at what you've done with Tiger TV, with just TFNN in total, and pretty soon everybody's television set's going to have an internet hooked up.
Right.
Whether they do it through an Xbox type function, an extra thing, or just simply the new televisions that are out there.
Right.
And then boom, you're going to be able to click on whichever channel it is you want.
Folks, let me tell you, I have it at home right now, and you should see these charts on a 60-inch TV.
Yeah.
It is awesome. I can actually check this out. It's really funny, and of course, what happens, folks, is that I can be outside, right? Basically, almost grooving on the water,
right.
And I can be looking in and saying, "Oh man, what's Rhodes doing now?"
I love it.
This is funny. The other night, I'm outside and I have a couple bad habits. One of them happens to be smoking cigars, folks. I don't do it a lot, but I do it enough.
Yeah.
So of course I can't do that in the house. So I'm outside with Harley, and I'm out there smoking a cigar, and I'm watching the whole thing come down. And Angie's she's looking at me. She says, "I can't believe you're just sitting out there smoking a cigar, you're watching the market again. The market's already closed." I said, "I just want to. I got to watch this a little."
I love it. I ran into Costco last night.
Okay.
I needed a couple things, and right when you come in there, you're hit with their big screen, TVs.
Exactly.
Okay, right there.
I know.
And I hadn't really looked at them for a while, and the prices are amazing.
Yeah, they are.
Compared to last time I bought.
Right.
A big monitor like that. I mean, I was looking at 60-inch screens that were under $1,000.
Right.
LEDs.
No, big time.
I was like, beautiful, beautiful.
And listen, folks, we'd like if you could do us a favor, right? No matter where you are shopping, right? When you walk into the store, put it on TFNN and put the Tiger TV on. That's what I do. I swear to God. Every time I go in the Sony store, right? Every time I go in the Sony store, you can take the TVs and put them all on TFNN.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
That's perfect.
And listen to this. The last time I was in there a couple days ago.
Yeah.
Well, a couple weeks ago. And so in Tampa, folks, it's the International Plaza, and what happens, the Sony store is dynamite, number one, but when you're outside the store, you can see the TVs in.
Yeah.
So I put them on there, get in there, watch them, put them on there, right? So I finish my shopping, and I come back, the engine, we end up eating there that night. They were still on there 5 hours later.
That's great. Okay. Oh, that's perfect.
So please do that.
Good.
We really appreciate it.
Oh, that's great.
Isn't that funny?
All our Tigers out.
No, it's great. Listen, hey,
store.
you know what? Hey, what can you do, man? Do you know what I mean? I always, what I wanted to do at one point, and this comes into, folks, Steve's doing a webinar tonight about how you're growing your business, 6:30 to 7:30. It's free. Come on over and sign up, okay? Because there's number one, they're not tricks. They're just basically
strategies.
They're strategies. Yeah. They're solid strategies.
Spring training's coming to, back to Florida. I think next month it pretty much starts. I've even seen some players, if you will. And when you come to spring training, what do? You go back to the basics.
That's right.
Ground balls. Everything is back to the basics.
Yes.
We have to do that as traders. Right. We have to do that. That is the cycle of how you go back to improving yourself.
Oh, it definitely is.
Come back to, and there's basic strategies. Now, in this case here, what I know is there are some basic strategies that I show that folks have never even used.
Right.
But when you see it, you realize, oftentimes things are really sitting right in front of us. We just don't realize it. You know
what? Everything's in front of us. You know what blows my mind? Is that when you pay attention to it, all of a sudden say, okay, so I've been struggling for a couple of years, and this has been sitting right in front of me.
Yeah.
And folks, it continues to happen, and it always happens. It's like, oh my God, and right in front of your nose.
It is one of the examples that I love it. I wish you were there to grab that piece of dust during that very last segment that flew into my mouth, but I didn't see that one coming. But one of the examples that I'll use for folks, say it's not always in front of you. I say, have you ever bought a car?
Right.
And for women it might be a dress or a blouse or something like that. But I'll use the car. Have you ever bought a car? And then all of a sudden, all that you see around you driving by, is your exact car. Whereas before that, you never really saw it.
No doubt.
You know what I mean?
No,
that's the example that I like to use, is that you're like, how did that get so popular? Well,
it's crazy.
It was always there.
Exactly.
You know, and women especially, you know, they'll be able to, some piece of clothing or what have you, all of a sudden they'll see somebody else wearing it.
Oh, yeah.
Not as much as, you know, the car frequency, but it is really right there in front of us. And that's one of the things, you know, that we're going to work on.
It's beautiful, man.
Yeah,
absolutely beautiful.
Yes, it is. Yes,
Let's go over and take a look. Let's see what, you know, the first, this is going to get really intriguing here. So what Apple's done thus far is this, folks, okay? It looks to me like it's going to be a blow-off top. And the reason I'm saying that is this. So the way an exhaustion gap, well, it wouldn't be a blow-off, it would be an exhaustion gap. Now, what happens with an exhaustion gap is that you're looking for volume that's going to be basically, you know, 4 times would be good.
Yeah.
Of what the volume is.
Yeah.
And it looks like we're going to get that. You know, we're 15 million right now. You're only, we're not even an hour.
That's right.
So that means that you can push in, and if this pushes in, you know, 70, 75 million, folks, that's going to be an exhaustion gap.
Yeah.
And what happens with an exhaustion gap is this. An exhaustion gap will go back to the very other side, which in this case is not the end of the world, but, you know, you're talking 385. You're talking down the at least to the other end. Yeah, you're talking 360. You know, let me just bring this back a little bit more.
What's interesting as you say that. So if you really set things up here, you know, let's just say it stays up at these levels with that type of volume.
Right.
There's one possible option.
Right.
Well, we already know that Apple has a habit of making island reversal patterns.
Oh, that's
so then
right.
all of a sudden you have a gap down tomorrow, because the last
what it did
the last one was October of 2011. If you go back on your chart, you'll see one in February of 2011, and it has a habit of doing that.
Wow.
So that would be that would set off the fuse.
That'd be intense.
Huh?
You know? And of course, this afternoon at 15:15. Well, actually, what happens is this, folks. At 12:30, the Fed's going to be coming out with their statement.
Okay.
So 12:30, that
statement, and then they release the minutes.
And all of that's coming out at 12:30
It is.
now.
Okay.
And what happens is, in this particular case, is that they're going to also release what the other Fed governors think the interest rate should be going forward.
Okay.
Now, I was listening to Myers this morning on CNBC, and Myers used to be a Fed governor, and when he was explaining that, hey, listen, the chairman is the name of the game, period. You know, it doesn't really matter what the rest of them want to say. But the Fed's already told us that they don't plan on doing anything to the end of 2013. So I don't think that's going to be, you know, mean anything. Okay.
Yeah.
What I think is going to mean something is that folks seem to think that QE 3 or 4 or something's coming. I think they're out of their mind.
I think it's possible that part of that move we saw in silver.
Yes.
Because that was I didn't know, because I'm not paying attention to the news. I'm just watching charts or what have you, taking care of business. And it wasn't until maybe you were doing your show or what have you when I heard you say somebody was calling about QE 3, and you were like, wait a minute, our markets are at the highs, not the lows.
Right.
You know, no, I don't see it at all. Well, but that was the day when we had that big move in silver.
Yeah,
gold didn't move that much, but you know that would seem to be the possible play.
Yeah, maybe
you know what I mean?
Maybe J.P. Morgan got trapped in some short positions there.
Lord.
You gotta love it.
Yeah.
Let's go take a look at some of the high volume stocks we got today, even though we don't have high volume. Now, what's going to be wild today, folks, is that on the pullback, will we get an expansion of volume?
Yes.
Right. Steve Rhodes, Tom O'Brien, you stay right there, folks. We'll come right back. And don't forget, you can sign up for Steve's webinar tonight, 6:30. Come over to our website at tfnn.com.
X-Story Gold Mines, an NYSE Amex-listed company trading under the symbol XG, is slated to be the newest gold-silver producer in Argentina. X-Story is forecast to produce more than $250 million in bullion annually, beginning in 2013, at a cash cost of less than $200 for each ounce of gold produced. That forecast will make X-Story one of the highest margin operators in South America and a sector leader in the mining industry. X-Story has $50 million in its treasury, having spent over $60 million to date on drilling and engineering. The ultimate size of its Argentina discovery could be determined by year-end, as results from the 6 drills operating at the site are fully assessed. To find out more about X-Story Gold Mines and their exciting growth potential, click on their banner on the front page of TFNN.com or check them out on the NYSE Amex under the symbol XG.
TFNN is proud to bring you the cutting edge of investment newsletters. Ken Shreve's Ultimate Growth Stocks. Ken is a top-down investor who lets price and volume in the major stock indices tell him when to be in the market and when to be out. By using his unique blend of fundamental and technical analysis, Ken will protect your hard-earned capital while realizing breakout gains. Go to TFNN.com today, click Investment Newsletters, and get Ken Shreve's Ultimate Growth Stocks free for 2 weeks.
You take a hands-on approach to managing your investment strategy. You're always looking for the next trading opportunity to magnify your perspective and maximize your returns. Direction Shares connects sophisticated traders with a powerful array of ETFs from a wide range of asset classes. The markets may go up and down, and you want tools for both sides of the trade. Discover how we can help at DirectionShares.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction Shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction Shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction Shares at 800-851-0511. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors employing dynamic strategies. Investors in the fund should understand the consequences of seeking daily investment results, understand the risk of shorting, and intend to actively monitor and manage their investments. Distributor, Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Hi, I'm Steve Rhodes, co-host of The Money Masters with Tom O'Brien, seen daily at TFNN.com, author of Mastering Probabilities, a daily investment and trading newsletter, and teacher of the money game. Studies show that 3 out of 5 people are afraid for their life in trading these markets, and the number one reason given is fear of loss. Look, fear stands for false evidence appearing real, and the money game proves it. Lesson number 1, don't risk more than 1% of your trading capital on any trade. Why, you ask? Because 35 trades in a row where you risk 50 cents and make $1 are all you need to double your trading capital, versus the 230 losing trades in a row you would need to bring your balance to $100. Let me teach you more about the money game risk-free for 30 days. Go to the homepage of TFNN.com and click on my name, Steve Rhodes, for your 30-day risk-free trial. You were born to be a money master, and I'll teach you how.
Here's what people are saying about Tiger TV.
Let's go to John in Tampa. Hey, John, what's going on?
Hi, Tom. How are you, sir?
I'm doing great. You having a good day out there?
A wonderful day. I love your Tiger TV. I watch it every day. I'm like a kid in a candy store.
Oh, man, I appreciate you out there watching it. How long have you been watching the Tiger TV?
I'm watching almost a month now, and it's wonderful.
It's pretty cool, isn't it?
Oh, yes, it's cool. You see the charts and everything. Thanks so much for the hard work.
Tiger TV, a great news service from TFNN.com. This segment is brought to you by Goldfields. For more information, just click the Goldfields banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Welcome back, folks. Steve Rhodes, Tom O'Brien. Dow right now is down 74. Nasdaq's up 9. S&Ps are up 3.5. We get gold down 9. And let's see what we got here volume-wise. What do we got? We're going to have any juice in this thing? No, there's no juice even on the way down again. You're at 1.141 million. Oh, now this is where it's going to be. Okay, baby. This is going to be interesting. Okay, so the NASDAQ has the juice. And the real key is going to be is that, okay, is it going to stay at these highs? It's already failed the high, you know, so.
Well, we used to be able to just, rely on the NASDAQ, as a leader on the way up, leader on the way down.
Well, and that's the point. That's the point here, because the divergence, the NASDAQ absolutely leads. But now what you have in the context of inside the NASDAQ and inside the NDX 100, well, bottom line, it's not enough that, Apple is basically up there. What you have, the biggest pusher, which is really intriguing, inside the NASDAQ 100 today is actually Computer Associates, CA. But that's selling off too. That's selling off. See, I'll tell you what a danger point was. Even though that this is parabolic, BVSN, if you want to see something, this is what happens at highs. BVSN, look at this. Okay?
Holy cow.
This is what happens at highs, man. Okay?
Cow.
This is Broadvision, folks. Broadvision had gone from $10 on the 5th of January. Yesterday, it goes all the way up to $44. It closes at 33, and today's just 27. So in one day, it's gone from 44 to 27. But that's the type of trading that happens at monster highs.
Man,
and so if Apple gives it up today, which I expect it's going to, when I say give it up, we're still up 27. Apple giving it up would be up 10 because you'd see the expansion happen. Now, it would seem to me that it has to happen, though, in the next 30 or 40 minutes because I don't see it happening after noon. And the only reason I don't is that people get more comfortable with it. Do you know what I mean?
No, a chart like BVSN here, that does have volume at that high yesterday, but still is sold off the way that it does.
Right.
This thing continues to sell off. You still take a look at that as getting back up there?
Not for a couple of years.
Okay.
What happens is
because so much damage on this parabolic.
That's a parabolic move. A parabolic move, folks, can basically destroy a stock for 2, 3, 4 years.
Yeah.
And that's but that's something you want to keep your eye on. But if we bring look
at all that cost, and then boom, it's like a space shuttle.
And see now this is personality. See what it did there?
Yeah.
In 2007, folks, it did somewhat of the same type of move. I don't mind equities like that, but you got to be cognizant that an equity like this, this stock in 1 week went from $112 down to 56.
Yeah.
That's a personality stock.
Yeah. That's a psycho personality.
No, totally.
There's better personalities to date out there.
You know what the thing that's amazing? The thing that's absolutely amazing is that I've seen these personality stocks trade 4 years, 8 years, 10 years.
Yeah. And still maintain.
And still a personality.
Yeah.
You can bring new management in. You can bring. It's like nothing. It's crazy. Let's go to Mark in Massachusetts. Hey, Mark, what's going on?
Hi, Tom. Hi, Steve. How are you two today?
Good. Now, there's a personality out there.
That's
Mark.
right. That's right. No doubt.
Hey, I got a personality for you. Look at American Express. Boy, is that acting opposite of the market or what?
American Express. You must be spending a lot of money on that black American Express card you have. Let's take a look at it.
No, I don't. Not me, baby.
We get the lows 41, the highs 53, the PE's 12.
But look at it for the day, Tom. It seems like it's acting opposite of the market. And is this helping keep the Dow maybe from going lower? This is a Dow stock, is it not?
Sure. It's time to sell it, man.
And the financials haven't really moved this morning. I think they're down about 3 pennies, the XLF.
Yeah.
So
I mean, if you own American Express, I would
I don't.
Don't buy it, man. I mean, all American Express did. If you're watching Tiger TV, folks, you're going to see this gapped away on the way down, 700,000 on the 10-minute, and what we just did here, we just did 135,000 on the 10-minute, going into the gap away from on the 20th of January. So. This is basically holding on for life right now.
Steve, Tom, is this keeping the financials up? Steve, you mentioned that the XLF was basically flat on the day. Is this keeping the financials up?
Well, they're in the top 10. So American Express is one of the top 10 holdings inside the financials. So, the answer there is yes.
Did they have good earnings or something? I didn't research it. I looked at the XLF this morning and I said this is acting opposite of the market, and I started to poke around and I found this by accident. So that's why I called on an AXP. Did they have good earnings or something?
They made their number, but when they did that, they had closed at 51. They gapped away the next day to 50. It's not the end of the world.
Yeah. Okay, guys.
Okay, man. Have a great one. Have a safe one. Steve Rhodes, Tom O'Brien. 877-927-6648. Come right back, folks. Hi, folks. This is Tom O'Brien. If you want to get great trade setups in equity as well as the option market, come over to TFNN.com and test drive my daily newsletter, Market Insights, for 2 weeks absolutely free. Each trade setup comes with a profit projection as well as stop placement. Included in Market Insights is a Twitter alert service. This allows you to take advantage of intraday setups. Volatility is back in the markets. What does that mean to you? To me, it spells short-term opportunity each and every day. The days of trending up on lighter volume are gone. We have come off the highs with volume across the globe. Don't get caught in a complacency trap. Many of the indices have given back 2 months of trading in 1 week. We have a trader's market. You can take advantage of this trader's market by test driving my daily newsletter, Market Insights, free for 2 weeks. Market Insights will give you the edge you're looking for in the markets. Go to TFNN.com under newsletter. Hit the Market Insight tab for your 2 week free test drive right here, right now.
In just December of last year, the price of gold was down over 10%. In today's highly volatile gold market, you need someone in your corner that understands the complex relationships that exist within the price of gold, as well as within a variety of gold equities. Whether it's the South African gold miners and knowing how the Rand-dollar relationship will affect their bottom line, or understanding how John Paulson's $5 billion trade in the GLD can move the market, Tom O'Brien gives you the direction you need to become a better trader each week in his newsletter, The Gold Report. With over 20 individual equities covered and almost another 20 on the potential watch list each week, in addition to covering the XAU, HUI, GLD, and dollar, The Gold Report is a great source for any trader that is looking to be diversified in today's volatile gold market. For your 30-day free trial to Tom O'Brien's Gold Report, log on to TFNN.com today. Don't miss out on this great offer. Act now.
What type of investor are you? Conservative, moderate, or aggressive? No matter your investor personality, your overall portfolio should reflect your financial goals, time horizon, and your risk tolerance. Help ensure your portfolio is appropriately invested with an asset allocation plan from Morgan Stanley Smith Barney. Simply picking the right stocks is not enough. Research has shown that choosing the right proportion of stocks, bonds, and cash is essential to the success of your long-term investments. Morgan Stanley Smith Barney believes a carefully selected portfolio can lower your volatility and increase investment return potential. Find out about what asset allocation and a Morgan Stanley Smith Barney financial advisor can do for you. Call Angelo O'Brien, financial advisor and certified financial planner of the Clearwater, Florida branch at 727-441-6108 today to discuss your personal financial needs. Asset allocation does not assure a profit or protect against loss in declining financial markets. Investments and services are offered through Morgan Stanley Smith Barney, LLC. Member SIPC.
Attention business owners, managers, and entrepreneurs. Studies show that 1 in 25 businesses last 10 years, and less than 1% of all businesses generate $5 million in annual revenues. Would you like to learn the skills that separate these businesses from all of the rest? It isn't about working 10 times harder. It's about working 10 times smarter. And I can show you how. Absolutely free, no strings attached. I'm Steve Rhodes, co-host of The Money Masters with Tom O'Brien, seen daily at TFNN.com, past owner of businesses at Disney, Universal Studios, Vegas casinos, and top destinations throughout the world. Join me Wednesday, January 25th at 6:30 p.m. for a 1-hour online webinar where I'll teach you how to get your dream clients, get past the one person that stands between you and the most influential people in the world, and show you the 3 ways to grow your business exponentially. Go to the front page of TFNN.com under Breaking News and click on Pathways to Growth, where preparation meets opportunity. That's Wednesday, January 25th. Register now for your Pathway to Growth, part of our Go Long America program on the homepage of TFNN.com. Decisions shape your destiny. Shape yours now.
This segment is brought to you by Crocodile Gold. For more information, just click the Crocodile Gold banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Welcome back, folks. Steve Rhodes, Tom O'Brien. We appreciate you growling and prowling with us out here. We get the Dow at 85. NASDAQ is up 4. S&Ps are down 6. And what we are going to see, folks, in the next minute is you're actually going to see the NASDAQ futures go negative. And that is an absolute mind blower. There's no two ways about that. I mean, think about it. Okay,
yeah.
You have Apple, with the best of numbers ever, and the market can't hold it. That, folks, that tells you, bottom line, how weak the market is.
Yeah.
I mean, and it's extraordinary. I mean, it's.
Well, you said, look, we had a signal on Friday when you had the Dow up 95 points or so.
Right.
The rest of the market's either flat or down just a tad.
Right.
So that was like that didn't make a lot of sense.
No, it didn't. It didn't. Isn't it cool how they signal though? You know? And the key, folks, is staying in harmony with the indices, with the world.
Yeah.
And it makes a huge difference. Yeah. I mean, it absolutely does. And those markets are talking, walking, and squawking. And right now they're squawking, folks, that this thing wants to get red. And I'm talking about red in a big way. And this is the classic that we could be down a couple hundred in the Dow, and the S&Ps won't be that bad. They'll be 15 or something. But
then what you want to really pay attention to then is you've got to say, okay, people say, well, there's still earnings reports ahead or what have you.
Right.
But here, when you take the number one guy out there,
right?
Okay, Apple,
right,
and it can't bring everything up with it.
Right.
What difference does it make, whatever is left to come out from an earnings standpoint? You know what I mean?
No, it does.
So people should really kind of use that as another piece of information out there.
That is the biggest piece of information. The reason being, folks, is that they have $17 billion in free cash flow. No matter which way you look at Apple, it's all great, okay? They have $95 billion in their pocket, okay? They take in $42 billion in 90 days.
Yeah.
Give me a break. They have a margin of 44%. Okay, so whatever way you look at that, it's all good.
Yes,
and if the market can't hold it, it's like what other company can do that?
Right.
Well, you know what?
It's not out there.
No, it's not out there. It's not out there. And the biggest issue for you as an investor is that the funds are selling. I know they might not be selling out, but they're selling the whole rest of the market. And this is a beautiful cover.
Right.
Okay, this is the ultimate cover that. When you're just paying attention to top line numbers, that bang, they're selling under the market, they're selling in a big way.
Yeah. Well, my clients know there's a group of funds that I track.
Yes.
And so we've been tracking them from the beginning of the year to see if money's actually flowing in or flowing out.
Oh, good. Yeah.
And what we've noticed is the last 6 days, money's actually flowing out. So even with the market, it's flowing into
the money, honey.
It's like, wow.
And and it makes sense.
Which is totally opposite of what you should see in January.
Well,
in the beginning of the year, the money should be flowing in from all the pension funds, all the retirement stuff. We shouldn't be seeing the money it's just slowly moving out. And like, wow. And it's 6 days in a row.
Well, remember when we were up the club and we were talking with Nick.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And bottom line is that this is one of our friends, and he was saying that he's had a great run in January, and then he was thinking the same thing. He said, I think I might start taking some money off the thing.
That's right.
And that was a big heads up too. And there was no doubt about it. I was like, okay, hold it, man. We've gone topside. We get some good bread here.
Yeah.
Yes. Get rewarded for the work, and he was going to get rewarded for work. So
now we need here. Is this is a 30-minute chart on the ES Mini.
Okay.
And what was so cool yesterday, first as I was working on my newsletter, just about getting ready to send it out at 7 o'clock in the morning, it made a 3-drive to a bottom pattern. Okay. And if I go back, you'll see some other 7, 8, 6 retracements or what have you on a smaller swing point. Next candle, which is at 7:30, makes a nice big bullish golfing.
Right.
Okay, and got attacked, and that area held, which you would expect. And then the market moves up. This is the Apple earnings release into the 5 o'clock time frame. Tries overnight to push up. Can't push it up. Does a 1.272 expansion up here into about 2 in the morning, I think it was. Yeah.
Yes.
2 a.m. and then the market starts to sell off. Now, what we need to see it bust through there.
Right.
And that low.
And that's 1302.
That's 1302 on the futures contract.
Okay.
So that's still acting, and it's amazing how these patterns work.
I know. It really is. There's no doubt about it.
It's so cool to see them, especially the 3-drive patterns. Because the real ones, you don't force them. They just simply boom. They just show up, and I'm like, oh man. And then you get a confirmation next candle. That's like, okay, yep, that was it.
Folks. Steve and I, we're going to be going on the road pretty soon.
Yeah.
That's going to be up on the web. And I was thinking, I had I had a guy over my house the other night. We were talking, and he was explaining he had lived in Tucson, right?
Yeah.
Now, Larry's got it made, because in Tucson, folks, there is, I guess that's where some of the biggest telescopes are.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh.
And so check this out. He was explaining that you can actually go up there, and it's up 9,000 feet, I guess, right? And he was explaining, this guy's a scientist himself.
Yeah.
And he was explaining that, in telescopes, it's all about the mirror. Not like,
right.
When we look at binoculars, it's about the lens, but it's all about the mirror. And he was explaining, I was saying to him, about all these planets and stuff. And then, oh man, he knew so much, it was a trip. And he was saying that, oh man, he says you should see in Tucson. So it's so dark out there also, and that's where they built them.
Yeah.
That you can see. I mean, it's extraordinary, and then you can actually see the Hubble. The Hubble comes.
Oh, you can
with your naked eye. That they tell you exactly what time it's going to come across.
Yeah.
Okay, and for 20 seconds you can see it coming across the horizon.
Yeah.
It's just amazing. I mean, and my point is that it's all math, folks. There's no two ways about it. I mean, if we've learned anything, it's all math, and whatever geometry is, it's cool.
And that's one thing on my list that I've wanted to do is go to an observatory like that.
Well, I think we're gonna have to go visit Larry.
Absolutely.
As soon as he said that, he says, "I got a perfect excuse to go out there," and you do too.
Yeah. Well,
I'm gonna buy some more cowboy boots.
You know what we should do? We'll go visit Larry. We'll check out the observatories in Tucson.
Yeah.
And then we'll go over to the Big Island in Hawaii because they got the big observatories up there. I don't know how you get in. We got to find one of the Tigers have got to help us get in because those are the country observatories. Owned by the countries.
Yeah, and you know what? Yeah, and I'm sure there's someone out there because I wish I took advantage of. We had a couple Tigers that worked for NASA, and they invited me down there, and I didn't go. That was so stupid, man. Boom, my mind.
That's pretty cool.
That
is pretty cool.
Totally.
You got to get that thing going again.
Let's go to Kevin in Sterling. Hey, Kevin, what's going on?
Steve, how you doing?
Good.
Good. Hi, Tom. Hey, I'll give you a quick thing. We were on our honeymoon, speaking of Hawaii.
Yeah.
And we went up to that observatory where it was. We couldn't get in, but we were just around it,
Yes.
And it was dark. And I'm not kidding. This is what we did. My wife and I, we stopped the car, and we turned the lights off. And this is outside, and it was dark.
Yeah, it's like you're in heaven.
It's like you're in heaven. It's like I said, let's turn the lights off and see how. And it was so scary because when the car lights went out, you couldn't see the hood of the car. It was pitch black.
Yeah.
But when you looked up, you could see everything, right?
Yeah, you could see everything. But it was just, a funny story you bring that up.
Well, it's amazing. The part of the story I didn't tell. He was telling me that when you looked up, that I was saying that, the story I read is that the planet's like a grain of salt.
Right.
And what he was explaining is that when you looked up in Tucson, that the bottom line is that if you threw something up there, it would hit a star. That's how many there were.
Yeah. Well, that's where Larry's talking about, where the snow is. Where you get that one. They actually can ski in Tucson. I think they ski on that. That's the mountain he's talking, or the
sure.
mountain.
No, that makes 9,000 feet. Yeah, that's high.
Yeah. Just ask a quick question. Two things on utilities. EXC, Exelon. Today it's going down into its August 19th.
Okay, so this is they distribute electricity in Philadelphia, nuclear power in Pennsylvania and New Jersey. The load that's today 38. The highs 45 at the 5% dividend. Okay, so what do we got here?
So the first problem is your next swing point's down at $37.
Yeah.
Down at the low 37.63 area, I think.
So just wait and see.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't. Don't be touching this, man.
Even if the volume's like today, the volume's say 2.3, but it's going into that one on August the 19th of 19 million.
But see how we're looking at EXC, folks. See how the volume expanded, Kevin, on the week of the 13th?
Yeah.
You never want to see that. You just, we expanded up to 45 million. That was going into 57. It's like, no, that doesn't fly.
Okay.
And the bottom is only 38 million. That's a problem, man. And that's it. Just let it hit it. And I wouldn't buy it then either, because you let it hit it, then you'd have to come off with a sign of strength, and then you buy the next pullback. I think this thing is. I wanted to take a look at this for a second. There's something else that's going on with this. This is a monster. This is a monster ABC down, man. This thing's in trouble.
It's a dangerous thing, then.
I think it bought somebody. I don't know the whole story, but I think they purchased a company, and that really stems. Of course, that sometimes puts us. I don't know. I'm not. Really.
Yeah, no. This looks to me.
If you have a second, can you relate that to the X? I'm trying to get into some dividends. XLU. The utility ETF, how this stock relates to that? I don't have you can break it down into how much, what percentage. I think this is quite a bit.
Okay, so let's see. Okay, so the XLU, it's not in the first top 10. Inside the XLU, you got
no, it's not. Okay.
You get the Southern Companies 9%, Dominion Resources is 6.8, Exelon. Oh yeah, no, it is. Exelon is 6.1.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay.
Yeah, and Duke 6.1. So I wouldn't be biting just yet on that baby.
Okay, I just want to get us. I've been listening to you guys. I'm in cash. I'm getting one. I don't want to. Every time I think like when I wait, then I miss it, and the market goes back up, and I got them. So I'm waiting again, and now it's like, do I?
Just don't worry. There's always an opportunity.
Well, let's talk about right what you're in, because so watch this. DXH here. The neat thing about being in cash, right, is that you've done nothing, and just from October 27th, you're up 8%, doing nothing. How's that?
Yeah, that's true.
In the buying power.
In buying power, and that's all that really matters.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, in buying power. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. It's not what you make; it's what you keep, man.
That's right.
I know that's hard. Listen, I know that's wild, folks. But the bottom line is that is what's so cool when your currency's going up. You know.
Exactly.
Cooking, brother.
Thank you, Tom. Thank you.
Have a great one. Have a safe one.
You bet. Now, what's cool about over in the Big Island is that they have there's special lights.
Okay.
And then covers over the lights, so they keep it. You know, if you own the home, okay,
yes.
you know, there's a special light that's going to be on the outside of the house that you can't just put your regular big halogen light out there. So even on the streets, even down below, they just keep things dark.
He was telling me in Tucson you can't have floodlights. Same deal.
Okay.
And I don't know if it's up where this is, but that's exactly what he's saying. He said when he first moved there, he had a couple extra floodlights, and they come out and said, no, get them off.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So let's take a look at Apple is they're gonna approach this 26 again. Now Apple got to the 445, but how it approaches this again is going to be important. There's not. Let's see, we're at 17 million. Let's just see some of the bigger ones. So what you're gonna look at right now, folks, is this. You're looking at, oh my God! Look at what you're looking at is this.
The first open.
I could actually, I have this button, folks, and I hit this button, and what it's giving you is from top to bottom the block trades that are going through. Some of these are sick. I mean, just 7,300 at a pop, 8,500, 85. Look at all the 5,000s.
Yeah.
What's 5,000 times 448? Oh man. It's interesting.
200 million.
It's pretty intense.
Yeah.
So
20 million.
449. That's a high.
Yeah, 2.3 million.
Okay, so now what you're looking at here now watch this, folks. This is pretty cool. So what you're looking at now is you're looking at where the sales got done versus the bid, the ask. And and you can see this is this tells me right off the bat, man. You got monsters selling this, folks, and they got the price they want. Now you get see that up there, man.
Yeah.
That's pretty intense, man. Wow. 449 is the number. See that? Isn't that sick?
It is.
That's a nice little chart, isn't it?
It is. Gotta love it. Gotta love the information.
No, it's fast. Well, what does happen is it's expensive, but it's fast information.
The data. The information is really cool.
Yeah. Let's go to Glenn in San Francisco. He's up early. Hey, Glenn, what's going on, brother?
Hey, guys, how are you? I'm glad to see I'm past the gatekeeper here this morning.
Oh,
that's great. No problem, baby.
Hey, Steve, I saw your 3 drives pattern that you showed earlier. I know you had it in your newsletter yesterday, and I had a couple questions about it.
Yes.
As I was reading your newsletter, did you say that the pattern ended at the lowest candle or at that bullish engulfing candle?
It was. I think it was really at the either one because they were both about the same. At 7 o'clock you got down to a low of 1302.50, and the next candle was at 1302.50. So it didn't really matter. And so, were you using the 141 extension for both of those 3 drives? Well, the second one was 1.272. Okay. Off of the time frame that was about 3:30 in the morning yesterday. Okay. And when you just take a look at it, I mean, nothing had to be formed or forced or anything like that. And then what was so nice was that you had that confirmation candle that came in afterward, that bullish engulfing. I missed it, but I appreciate you pointing it out. It was I was looking for a point to look to enter there, and that was a great entry. Thanks.
Are you looking for a precision edge in the market? Something that can stack the odds in your favor? Then look into Larry Pesavento's new trading newsletter, Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind. In each weekly issue, Larry explains what's going to happen in the markets based on the pattern he sees developing and gives you actionable trade ideas based on those patterns. Plus, you'll get his detailed analysis on a variety of markets and sectors, including stocks, treasury bonds, the gold market, oil, the dollar, the forex market, and more. And you'll get the Technical Corner segment, which is a short but powerful weekly training session on trading. You'll get access to all the patterns Larry is seeing in the markets, plus the Astro Harmonics and powerful Bradley stock market model that Larry utilizes for less than $5 a day. An extremely potent combination that will give you just the edge you've been looking for. Try patterns, profits, and peace of mind absolutely free for 2 weeks. Go to tfnn.com and click on the free trial link at the top of the page. That's an $85 value, yours free when you register right now. Get Larry's patterns, profits, and peace of mind and get the edge you've been looking for.
At Tiger Metal Exchange, we pay you more for converting your jewelry to cash.
Let's go to Brian in New Jersey. Hey, Brian, what's going on?
Hey, Tom, just want to let you know I did give you some jewelry. My jeweler offered me about $650, but you get a check in the mail tomorrow for about $1,200.
At Tiger Metal Exchange, it's all about honesty when converting your jewelry to cash.
Okay, let's go to Paul in Florida first. Hey, Paul, what's going on?
I want to commend you on the Tiger Metal Exchange. I just did a deal with you guys the other day.
Oh, good.
And I'm very happy.
Well, I appreciate it. Now, Did you sell us jewelry or did you buy coins off us?
I sold you jewelry.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
What we weighted at was less than you guys said, so, you're totally honest.
At Tiger Metal Exchange, we give you the tools to value your gold, and it's absolutely free. Call 866-618-8888 or log on to TigerMetalExchange.com. We've created the easiest, safest, and most honest cash for gold process. Tiger Metal Exchange. It's the only call you need to make.
Would you like to discover the next great tech stock? David White, TFNN's technology guru, has just launched his new newsletter, The Technology Insider. In his newsletter, David will be looking for those shining stars that may turn into the next Apple, Microsoft, or Cisco. David combines his technology background as a software programmer with his market skills as a successful professional trader to give you this unique newsletter. We're on the verge of the next great tech run. With the Technology Insider, you'll be in front of the run-up and not lagging behind. David is developing a long-term investment portfolio, therefore we're only offering the Technology Insider as an annual subscription with a remarkable price of only $395. That's right, for a little over $1 a day, you'll receive the fundamental technology wisdom and technical trading skills of the Technology Insider David White. What are you waiting for? Go to the front of TFNN.com, click on the link on the front page, sign up for your 2-week free trial, and become a Technology Insider today. Great Basin Gold is a mining company engaged in the exploration and development of 2 emerging gold properties in Nevada and South Africa with a total resource base of more than 23 million gold ounces. Great Basin's Burnstone mine in South Africa opened in February of this year with a resource of 20 million gold ounces, becoming the first mine to open in the historic Witwatersrand Basin in the last 30 years. The Burnstone mine is projected to have a 25-year mine life and is fully financed with production anticipated to be over 250,000 ounces per year at a cash cost of only $450 per ounce. The Hollister mine in Nevada became fully integrated in the 4th quarter of 2010 with annual production estimates of 110,000 ounces of gold per year over the 8-year mine life at a cash cost of only $527 per ounce. Great Basin Gold is cash flow positive and trades on the Toronto and New York stock exchanges under the symbol GBG.
Catch Basil Chapman as he uses his Chapman Wave methodology to call the markets. The Tiger Technicians Hour, next on TFNN.
Welcome back, folks. Steve Rhodes, Tom O'Brien. We get the Dow right now down 70. Nasdaq's up 8. S&Ps are off 4. You got gold down 7. We're down 10, so that's not bad. Bonds are up 6 ticks. Natural gas up 117 ticks. Let's go over to the dollar for a second. What that's dollar doing? DXH2.
Well, you had the yen was really weak yesterday and last night. Now, what it did was it just completed a move on the yen, and then that was backing off.
Look at that.
See how it still got back up to the top of its range there.
Right.
That move, and now it's backed off. Just a bit. Now, what's interesting about that?
See, that's interesting.
Yeah,
Look, that's pretty.
But what is interesting though is I've got the Nikkei up, and you're talking about how when Asia starts coming back from the break. Well, tonight is when the Hang Seng starts trading.
Okay.
And the Nikkei, I've got the Nikkei up on my chart here.
Yes.
And the Nikkei is really up against some resistance because it's up against off a 0.382 retracement off of a swing point way back up here.
Yeah.
Back in the July 27 time frame. We our markets are often taking a look at July 27th as well. I think the Dow was basically hitting that July 27th area.
That's right.
And then you've got a 786 retracement off of the swing point back here from October 31st. And look at this, 1.272, I mean, it's really it's going to be interesting to see how the Nikkei trades tonight.
Oh, no doubt. No doubt. So they're open early then. I think okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that Hong Kong comes back online
tomorrow night.
Thursday.
Right? Yeah.
Thursday. So I think that would be today.
And then Shanghai would come next week probably.
Yeah.
Okay. Good. Okay.
I don't know why they do that, but I'm pretty sure that's the deal.
No, that'll make sense. That absolutely makes sense.
But this is saying look out. Just hit some resistance.
Yeah. No, I'm with you there.
Can pull back.
And it's gonna. I mean, Big Blue is still having a tough time up here, and that's And what you have here, folks, if you want to see Big Blue IBM, you had that gap down on the 18th of October, and that's what's stopping it. Even we had the gap up. 12 million up versus the 15 million down. That's still having,
Yeah.
It's like that keeps it in a consolidation. And let's see what Microsoft is doing. Microsoft, we know, has got some juice underneath it now. Yeah, she's got juice under it. Man, imagine Microsoft's back.
Oh, in a big way.
Yeah, it really is, man. I mean, look at that. Microsoft breaks topside, folks. Big volume, pulls back with lighter volume. That's amazing, man.
So, one of the stories that I've got tonight in my webinar that I do, it's a Microsoft story, and it's a real.
Is it?
Yeah, it's probably one of the most, in my opinion, it's probably one of the most important stories for people to actually hear.
I love it.
Yeah, because it will really help you to understand just how you ought to approach things in life.
And
so
folks,
it's really going to be.
Come over to our website at TFNN. And folks, do it now, because the bottom line is that don't wait until 6 o'clock tonight.
And we send out worksheet. I sent out a worksheet yesterday to about the we had 500 people in when we sent out the worksheets to folks, so they can kind of they're like, oh, this is serious.
Yeah, and it's a free webinar, folks. 6:30 to 7:30, and it's all about empowering you. It's about flying like an eagle, baby. And I'm in Mr. Steve Rhodes.
Growing your business.
That's right. No doubt.
Absolutely.
It's right in the front page of TFNN. Now, you stay right there, folks, because we're going right from here. We're going up to Newton, Massachusetts with Basil Chapman. We're going, then we're going to Tucson. Larry Pesavento, 12 to 1. Back here with David White. And then I'm going to be coming back 4 to 6. And on the 5 o'clock program, we're going to be doing that together. I think so. That's a beautiful thing.
Because I'm ready. I'm already, I'm ready. I've been prepped.
Yeah, and I've already seen it, folks, and it's dynamite.
I'm ready.
There's no doubt about it, man. You do so much work, man. It's a beautiful thing.
It's called where preparation meets opportunity.
Yeah,
and that's I'm prepared.
It's been hours of preparation for 1 hour, I'll tell you.
Yeah.
Steve Rhodes, Tom O'Brien, thanks for being here, folks. Have a great one. Have a safe one. You stay right there. Our man Basil Chapman's coming up right next.
Take care, folks. Live with gratitude.